What's good, YouTube? I'm pretty sure you guys have already read the title, so I'm just gonna jump right in. So I bought my first watch this year, actually not this year, but last year. It just turned 2017. So I bought my first watch. It was a Gucci YA something. I'm not too sure. And this was a major stepping stone for me because I had bought my first timepiece as a 19-year-old. I'm about to be 20 next month, but as a 19-year-old, I bought my own timepiece, and it wasn't like a cheap watch. It wasn't like Marc Jacobs, Michael Kors, or anything like that. So I'm feeling pretty good, and I was Snapchat flexing. I'm like, I'm gonna turn this into a Rolex soon, some shit like that.
They know the difference. They know the difference. They know the difference. You got a rape and I got a rape, but they know the difference. Put the machine in 2016, so they know the difference. 2016. The diamonds.
So I'm like, I'm gonna turn this shit into a Rolex, some shit like that. But it was just me, like, basically progressing. But I didn't really like the watch too much. It was a nice little watch. Didn't really get it fitted. Didn't really wear it or anything like that. So I'm like, let me just put this on Grailed or flip it or something like that. So I put it on Grailed for $2,500, and within 3 minutes the watch is literally sold. So I'm like, wow, because I actually bought the watch for $1,700. I just put it at $2,500 so someone could make me an offer, and I was going to accept anything $1,700 or over. Well, a little bit over $1,700 because I don't want to lose my money. I need to at least make my money back. So I do that. It's gone within literally like 3 minutes. It's like 2 days before Christmas. I tell the guy, hey, I'm still at school. I'm at school right now, guys. I tell the guy, I'm still at school. I'm gonna be home for Christmas, but I'm suspecting that I won't be able to ship it until after Christmas. And he's like, all right, no problem. So literally Christmas fell on a Sunday this year, and I couldn't ship it the day after Christmas because Monday was being observed as a holiday by the post office and UPS, so I couldn't ship it to the guy. I let the guy know. He's like, okay, that's fine. It's just inconvenient timing. That's cool. I understand. So I'm like, all right. So the day after that, ship it out, give him tracking UPS. He's like, when should I be expecting it? And I'm like, you should be expecting it in like 3 days, bro. So he's like, all right, cool. So I'm tracking it to make sure he gets it. Of course, I bought insurance. Of course, I got tracking. Of course, I required a signature. This is a very expensive item. I'm not going to ship anything that costs $2,500 out without getting those things. So I'm tracking it. I see that it's the delivery day is approaching. I check it. I keep checking it, refresh. It says no one was there to accept the package. So I contact him. I'm like, hey, bro, make sure you're home tomorrow to pick up your package. UPS tried today and you weren't there, so they couldn't deliver it. And he's like, why did you do signature? Just have them leave it. And I'm like, no, why would I just have them leave it? Like, that's gonna be my head if anything happens to it. Somebody steals it. I don't know you. What if you say you don't get it? Like, I need to take these precautions to protect myself. So I let them know, like, hey, I'm not doing that. You have 2 more attempts before they bring it back to me. So the second attempt, I'm refreshing. I'm like, wow, this guy's really not going to pick up his package. So then there's 1 more attempt, and then they send it back to me. And I'm like, this is the last and final attempt. You need to be there to pick up your package. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay for shipping again, which is going to come out to like literally like $60 because this is like an expensive package and it's insured and everything. And he's like, all right, fine. He still doesn't pick up his package. They send it back to me. I'm like, whatever. The guy doesn't want to pick up his package. Then that's not my problem. Like, I literally went through all this and I made plans for the money, so I'm gonna do what I wanted to do with it. So then I get a message from him, hey bro, ship my watch. Please don't put the signature requirement on it. I'm not going to be home. So I say, when are you going to be home? Maybe we can work something out. maybe I can have it shipped to you, maybe I can have it delivered to you at a certain time, something like that. He's like, no, bro, just don't have the signature. And then I'm like, I will have the signature. If you're not going to be home, they'll bring it back to UPS. And when you are available, you can pick it up with your ID. So I put it as his name on the thing. His name was Michael. I'm not going to say his last name or anything. So I put Michael, and he's like, which name did you put? And I said Michael. He's like, bro, that's not my name. So at this point, I'm a little skeptical. You're not picking up your package. Your name on PayPal says Michael, whatever the last name was, and you're telling me that that's not your name. So at this point, I'm very skeptical. I don't know what to do. So I call them. They send it back to me again. I change the name to whatever his name is. So he tells me change it to Phil and then change it to his last name. So I do that. They deliver it to the house 3 times. He's not there to pick it up. They take it to the UPS location. He has to go in there with his ID. So he goes in there with his ID. He picks it up. I get a notification straight to my phone saying that the receiver has picked up the package, blah, blah, blah. So like literally 40 minutes later, get a message from PayPal saying there's been a case opened or something like that. So the case is opened, and it's saying that the buyer did not authorize this payment or this transaction. Check my PayPal balance. My PayPal balance is negative $2,208. So I start making phone calls. Well, first I contact the buyer. He's not responding. Gave this man 2 days to respond, guys. Literally, I gave this guy 2 days to respond. He didn't respond. So that's when I started calling PayPal. I called PayPal, and they say it's pretty much out of their jurisdiction because he called his credit card company and he filed a chargeback saying like somebody used my credit card. I have no idea about any type of watch. So like I have to go to, so at this point PayPal is telling me you sent it to his address, you're covered under buyer protection. So you guys are probably thinking, okay, PayPal's telling you you're covered under buyer protection, you're good. No, that's not the case at all. A lot of us, I didn't understand what buyer protection was, and a lot of you guys don't understand what it is. So I'm going to tell you today to make sure that you're protected and that you're just going to be safe when you're selling things on the internet. Buyer protection is basically saying that if you follow all the necessary steps, PayPal is going to take your side against the credit card company and help to kind of like dispute the transaction or charge on your behalf. That's it. They're not saying, oh, hey, you shipped it to this address, we got you covered, here's your money back. That's not what buyer protection is. At this point, PayPal is no longer responsible. It's in the print too if you guys want to. I encourage everybody to read that section of the print. I know it's long, I know it's tedious, but you need to know what you're signing up for and what you're paying PayPal for, because you are paying PayPal. They're taking a percentage of whatever you sell. So you need to read that. You need to go through it. They're just saying that they're going to dispute the credit card company with you, and the decision whether the money is going to remain with you or is going to be taken from you is ultimately up to the credit card company. So at this point, I'm freaking out. I'm like, no, so what am I paying? I'm on the phone. I'm talking to the lady. I'm like, what am I paying you guys for? Like, you take a percentage of every single transaction that I do through you. If I don't have buyer protection, then what are you guys getting paid for? If I'm not going to get my money back, if I'm not covered, if I did everything I was supposed to do. And the lady's like, I'm sorry. I don't want to give you any false hope and tell you that you're going to get your money back and you're going to win the dispute. But it looks like based on the information you've given us, you're going to win the dispute with the credit card company, because I had took things into my own hands. I basically messaged the guy saying, I'm going to sue you. You used your real ID to pick up the package from wherever you are, and I know that that's you. So I'm calling the police, I'm making phone calls. He's like, what? I didn't do any chargeback. And I'm like, so why are you just responding now? This doesn't sound right at all. And then he's like, for some reason I have the money back in my bank account. I'm like, bro, you definitely called your credit card company and you said the transaction was unauthorized, and now you're keeping the money and you're keeping the watch. So I'm basically out of $4,000. So he's trying to keep the watch and keep the money, and he's trying to play stupid. And I'm screenshotting all this stuff, getting on the phone with PayPal literally 5 days in a row, every day providing new information. And I'm like, I'm talking to him like I'm a jeweler or something. I'm like, I'm a jeweler. I have a company. I deal with situations like this day in and day out. People trying to scam me, and I will be taking this to small claims court. And that was actually something that I planned on doing, because I'm not gonna bite the cost of $2,208. Like, I'm a college student. I'm literally in college. I'm literally in my apartment right now. I'm in college. I'm not just gonna let somebody walk all over me and take my money. And then I couldn't even imagine like just working very, very hard and getting $2,000 to pay it just to give it away. Like, that doesn't make any sense. No one should ever take no for an answer. I kept telling him I'm gonna take this as far as possible, and he's like, I'll send you the watch back. But at this point, I had already spent the money. I got a couple things, man. I got a couple things off Grailed, a couple things off just a couple clothes and stuff like that. So I had already spent the money. So at this point, now he's saying, I'm gonna send you your watch back. There's not gonna be a problem. And I'm like, no, bro, the watch is yours. There's a security tag on the watch that I didn't even remove yet, and he had removed it already, and he's been wearing the watch. So I'm like, at this point, this was a brand new Gucci watch with diamonds in it, and now that you've used the watch is yours. I just want the money. And obviously he's a scammer, so he doesn't have the money to pay for it. He tried to scam me with his credit card, and he realized he's not gonna be getting the money back. So what he tried to do is try to send the watch back, because he needed to get to zero somehow. At this point, he's probably like at negative $2,500. So I'm like, no, I've already spent the money. We've already went through this transaction. Like, you've already did what you had to do. That's it. And like, even just going into further research, like I'm looking up like chargeback, and then I see something on the internet that says check the address. So I type in the address. Turns out the reason he wasn't available to pick up the package was because he had me sending the watch to an abandoned house. So that wasn't even his house. So by the time it got to UPS, he could show up there with his ID and easily pick up the money. So bottom line is, I waited it out. I was stressing over this, literally calling PayPal every day, every other day, trying to figure out what I could do to resolve it. They're like, just be patient. And they're like, I can tell you right now, the longer these things go on, the better in favor it is of the seller. So then I eventually got an email from PayPal while I'm at the gym playing basketball with my friends, and it said the case has been resolved. Your PayPal balance has been returned to zero. So I'm like, that was like a sigh of relief. And then I read it, and it's like, if we need any further information, we'll contact you, but as of now, the case is closed. So I'm like, if they need any further information, then as of now, like, this guy clearly scammed me. Like, that's it. I got my money back, took my bank account off of there, took my cards, all of my cards off of there, and I opened a new PayPal account. But that's why, like, whenever I sell shoes, like, I sold the Yeezys, the black and white 350 V2s. I sold the OG NMD Prime Knits. I sell them on GOAT now, because GOAT works with, I believe it's Affirm, which is like, it's like, in my opinion, way better than PayPal, because I sell something on there, I ship the product to GOAT. Once GOAT gets the product, they give me my money, and that's it. Everything is done. There's nothing to do with me at that point. I have my money. The buyer can call his credit card company, try to charge back, do whatever he needs to do, but that has nothing to do with me at that point. I fulfilled my end of the deal, and that's it. With PayPal, someone could easily commit chargeback fraud, and this could have went any other way. I was reading up on Nike Talk about how this guy completely got scammed based on chargeback fraud, and that could have been me. This could have been like $2,000 I had to pay back out of my pocket. The guy I was reading up on, he said this is $6,000, and they keep on sending him mail talking about he needs to pay it. So he said he had to suck it up, fight the cost, and he's just gonna pay back every penny of it as slowly as possible, and that's very unfortunate for him. So I just wanted to make this video not only to give you guys a story, but also to keep you guys aware of what can happen when you sell through PayPal. And just like if you're selling anything that's like super expensive, you need to be careful. You need to try and somehow run a background check on the person you're selling to. If their name doesn't match their PayPal account, be skeptical of that. If their address reads you an abandoned house, be skeptical of that. I kept asking the guy, can we talk on the phone? Let's get to the point. He's like, no, you're threatening to sue me. Why would I want to talk on the phone with you? So like, you guys just have to be careful, and that's all I have to say to you guys today. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I will be putting out a weekly top 3 tomorrow, Sunday, the beginning of the which is like some people refer to as the end of the week or the beginning of the week. But anyways, courtside Obi, guys. Thanks for watching.